How to get more people to open your emails. Hey, have you been sending emails and nobody's opening them? This video is for you. And I want to share with you a story about when I first started sending emails and how I got terrible open rates, and when I send them now and how I've improved those open rates and made a lot of money. And I'll save that for the end. So first thing, let's check out this email thing. Now you're probably judging your email on a few different metrics, right? The first metric is how many people open that email. All right, that's a good metric. The next metric is how many people click on the link that you put in your email. I hope you're putting links in your email. And the next metric will be, you know, the conversion rate of the people once they click and get to your sales page, your opt-in page, your webinar registration, whatever it is you're sending them to, how many people convert. So let's check out all that and see how we can improve it. Now, if you don't know me, my name's JR Fisher. I've been selling online since 2009. I've sold millions of dollars of both digital and physical products. And on this channel, it's your channel, I teach you how to do these things. I teach you the tips, the tricks, the secrets, the techniques, all that good stuff to help you make more money online. So this is your channel. So put your comments below. If you've got a subject you want me to cover in a video, let me know below and I'll call out your name. I'll even do that. I'll call out your name when I do the video so that you'll be tagged in that video. Okay, so let's jump right into this now. We want to first look at what is an open email rate. Okay, let's check that out first off. Before I give you the data though, I do need you to understand all these statistics, these metrics, so that you can measure them. Now, most people think an email open rate is when somebody opens an email. Would make sense, right? But that's not exactly how it's measured. A couple things have to occur for it to be counted as an open. The first one is the recipient has to enable images within your email. So if you have an image in there and they don't enable it, it's not going to be counted. In addition to that, they do have to click in that email and go to whatever landing page, sales page, wherever you've asked them to go for it to be counted. So those two things have to be present. The way email service providers calculate this is not based on how many emails you sent and how many they opened. That's not the case. Let me give you an example. Let's say you send 100 emails and 10 of them bounce. Okay, they don't ever get to the recipient. Those are not counted. They would take that 90 emails and they would calculate how many people clicked. That's where they would come up with a percentage. So don't worry about the bounced ones. I mean, those are bad and you want to get those off your list, but those will not count against you. And I mean, it only makes sense, right? Emails that aren't received can't be counted as emails that are sent because they did never receive them. Now let's look at email open rates. Everybody's like, well, what percent should I have open? And I don't want you to get too hung up on these. I'm going to give you some of these numbers. My email open rates are way below what this number is, but globally between 2015 and 2018 it stayed around 24%, which I know most of you are not getting that kind of open rates, but that was 2018. In 2019 it dropped down to about 22.1%, which is still pretty high. I don't get anywhere near that, and I don't know anybody that does, but that's an 8% decrease. And you got to understand, this is across all industries. So some industries are going to get much higher open rates than other industries. Now if you look at this chart right here I've got on the screen, you can see in 2006 we had open rates of whatever it was in 2006 there, but you can see as the chart goes up there in 2010, 11, 12, 13 they were getting pretty high, but in 2014, 15 they started to drop down. Okay, it's a noticeable decrease in the open rates. Now some people will tell you, well, open rates are down so emails don't work anymore. No, because they're still opened. Okay, as long as they're still open, if everybody quits opening their emails, yeah, email is going to be dead. I don't think that's going to happen. It is the preferred way to communicate with people at this time. Now what I'm going to also do is put a chart up on the screen here, and I don't even have the United States on this particular chart, but I just want to show you what the open rates are and how they differ. Like Denmark's 31%, Germany's 25%, Norway's 18%, Sweden's only 17%. Then if you look at the click-through rates, they do kind of mirror what the open rates are. If you have a higher open rate, you're probably going to have a higher click-through rate. Okay, that's generally the case. But if you look at Norway, that's not the case. Norway is way below what their open rate is. So is Switzerland there. United Kingdom's exactly 13. Okay, so it's going to vary dependent upon where you are in the world, but I would tell you not to get hung up on any of these things. because that's not the point of an email. The point of an email is to make money generally, or get people to do a particular task. Now if you have open rates that are over 22%, hey, more power to you. That's great. That's amazing. You know, you're doing really well. Let's look at the different countries here. I've got overall countries: North America, Europe, Asia, and Oceania. And all these different countries here have different click-through rates, different unsubscribe rates. If you notice, in Europe they got a 0.26 unsubscribe rate, which is pretty high. Now the first thing you need to be concerned about is that your emails are getting to people. In other words, you want to get your deliverability up. A lot of times that can have to do with your email service provider. I know we were in Infusionsoft and we had terrible deliverability. I mean, just terrible. We moved over to Kartra and our deliverability shot up. It did much better. So sometimes it's just the provider that you use. 66% of emails will reach an inbox in Asia, whereas in Europe 86% reach their inbox. So sometimes it can be the country in which you're emailing to. And if you're like us, we email to all of these different countries, you know, it's all over the place because of that reason. Now our survival food company, we only email in the United States, so we are pretty much based on those statistics. Here's another chart you can check out here. It's got global, Central Latin America, Asia Pacific, North America, and Europe, and it's got the inbox. Okay, what percent are reaching the inbox, which percent are bulk, and which percent are missing. And you can notice here there's a huge difference to your email open rates here. Here's the question: what can you do to have better open rates? Well, I've put together a few things here. The first one is to use a double opt-in. You may or may not choose to do this. If you choose to have a double opt-in, basically whatever service you're using is going to send them an email and says, to complete your registration you need to click here and we can add you to our list. Now that will make your list cleaner. However, it's going to make fewer people actually add themselves to your list, because they're going to get the email and go, nah, I don't really want to be on that list. Okay, it's going to give them that second thought. So although you will get a cleaner list, you'll have better deliverability. It's going to reduce the number of people added to your list, so you have to decide what's best for you there. Another thing you can do is proactively ask them to add your email address to their, you know, preferred list, their trusted address book, whatever it is. Make sure that you ask them that, and that will increase your deliverability too. And the last part is keep your list clean. If people aren't opening your emails and they haven't done it in a while, you need to get them off your list. You need to maybe send out a re-engagement campaign, and if they don't decide to stay on your list, you need to get them off of there. Now our service provider, after a certain period of time, does that for us, and then we have to go in there and purge those people, but they're just going to quit emailing the people who don't open your emails, which is really the best thing for you to do because they aren't interested. The next thing I want to look at is how people are receiving your emails and how they're looking at them. Now there's a chart up here, and if you notice, in 2011 you had 73% of the people were using a desktop, 27% were using a mobile phone. Then in 2016 it all changed. You had 45% were using desktop, 55% were using mobile, and now as of 2018, this is 2020, but in 2018 you had 39% desktop and 61% mobile. So you want to make sure whatever emails you're sending out are viewable, mobile friendly, because if they're not, you know, you're going to have a problem. That's how people are looking at your emails. Matter of fact, it's been proven that if they can't read it, a mobile user will 80% of the time just delete it. Okay, so they're never going to see your email. They're not going to go, hey, I'm going to wait till I get home on my laptop to check out this email. It's not going to happen. 80% of the time, deleted. Next thing you want to look at is when they're online and when they're checking their email. Now there's another chart I want to put up here. Check out the screen there. It's got the different days of the week, and these are open rates. So it's showing that Saturday and Sunday we have lower open rates. Across the week it's not really that different. What we found is that the time of day matters though. I know that when I put up videos on YouTube, I put them up first thing in the morning because that's when the majority of my people are there. Same thing with the emails. I send them out early in the morning. If I'm selling survival food, it seems to do better right before lunch because people are hungry, so they're going to be more likely to buy that particular product right before they go eat. Now here's another chart on open rates by the hour. Now keep in mind, this is still across all industries. Okay, 23% of all email opens occur during the first hour of delivery. First hour. Okay, so when you send out an email, don't think that, you know, 3 days later people are going to be buying from you, because they probably won't. Matter of fact, after 24 hours an email's chance of being open drops to 1%. So 24 hours after you send that email, it's not going to be opened anymore. It's done. Okay, so understand that. You can check your stats at 24 hours. But what's interesting here on this chart is if you look, it's like right around lunchtime and after lunchtime. 3 p.m. is a sweet spot. 6 p.m. is not bad, and 9 p.m. is not bad. But you know, in the middle of the night, you know, nobody's opened their emails at 3 a.m. so don't set yours to run overnight. Set yours to run maybe a little after lunchtime and test it. That's the one thing I'll tell you, is just test it. Send emails at different times and see how they react. You want to build up this trust with your buyer, your consumer, your subscriber, whatever you want to call it, because in their mind there's reasons why they open emails. 69% of the people say they opened an email because of who the sender was. Only 47% said they opened an email because of the subject line. But if you can combine the fact that you're a trusted sender along with a great subject line, well, you've got it made there. Now here's a chart on that right here. Sender's name 69%, subject line 47%, offer 26%. So even if you've got a great offer, that's not going to get them to open. Intro paragraph 14%, and expected length 4%. So they don't even consider that. The sender of the email is also very important. If you're putting ABC Construction versus John Thomas, then you're hurting yourself, because it's been proven that you can get a 35% increase in your open rates by putting a person's name as the sender as opposed to putting a company name. Now here's the funny thing, companies 89% of the time use their company name. So that one change right there could increase your open rate. Now here's something that's really interesting, and this is the open rate by number of words in the subject line. 0 to 5%. You can see, you know, what the chart shows, but it looks like the sweet spot is 6 to 10 words. Okay, when you get over 10 words, that open rate starts to go down, and if you've got 16 to 20 words or 21 words, they're not going to open your email. So you want to be in that 6 to 10 area. And here's the truth, if you put too many words, it gets cut off anyhow. If it's too long, nobody's going to even see your subject line. Now this is especially true on mobile devices, where 85% of the subject lines are shorter than 90 characters. So since you've only got 90 characters to play with, you got to keep it shorter. Next thing you can do is you can have personalized subject lines where you actually have their name in the subject line. That has proven to increase open rate. In the beginning, you know, people would do stuff like, hey John, and then have whatever their subject line is, but that is not good enough nowadays. Nowadays you have to personalize it. It may say, John, I hope you're enjoying the chicken you bought, check this out. Okay, so maybe they bought something from you, and you can personalize a purchase they did in the subject line, and a lot of email service providers have that ability now. Now here's something really interesting that we figured out. Retention Science Company found that movie titles and song lyrics can have an average open rate of 26% higher than regular subject lines. And here's some examples here. Subject line number 1, imagine all the people, got free shipping today, and then an exclamation point. The next one, Gone with the Wind, book your summer vacation now. And the next one, 10% discount on all products, I'm all shook up, How about that? Adding something like that to the subject line can increase your open rate by 26%. Something else that we've tested that works for me is if you've got a video that is in that email, or you're going to send them to a video, if they click, put the word video in the subject line, and people are more likely to open it. So most clicked on emails include words like secrets or e-sales and awesome. Those are great words to use. However, emails mostly reported as spam include the words confirm, features, and upgrade. So don't use those in your subject line. People are less likely to open emails that have a question mark or a hashtag, so leave that out of your emails too. The next thing I want to talk about is segmentation. If you can segment your audience, you're going to get better open rates. So if you have a group of people, let's say I'm selling a case of beef, and you know, we sell survival food, and we have a bunch of people that bought chicken. We may put in the subject line, beef on sale, hope you're enjoying your chicken. So that is really targeted to those people who bought chicken. That is something you could put in your subject line, or any activity they've done. Maybe they attended a webinar, maybe they read one of your blogs, maybe they watched one of your videos. If you can reference that and they actually did that thing, they're more likely to open your email. Now here's an example of one email campaign here. Click rate was 30.43% and the open rate 94.20%, because it was targeted and segmented. Now the sad part is, if you talk to marketers, they call themselves marketers, 89% of them never segment their list. So let's go through a few of the things we've covered in here. First off, use 6 to 10 words in your subject line to get the best open rate. Send your email campaigns during the work day and after lunch. Personalize subject line with the reader's name. Use a recognizable sender name, not a company name. Optimize your email campaigns for mobile. And a little bonus here, segment your email list. Now I told you in the beginning I did something, and I want to tell you the story, that I was getting really low open rates and I was able to improve those open rates. In the beginning I was putting in the subject line what the email was about. And you say, well, that's what they're supposed to do, right? No, don't do that. Because if you put in the subject line what the email's about, guess what? They don't need to read your email. If you put 20% off on sweaters for men in your subject line, they know everything about that email. And if they're a woman and they don't want a men's sweater, they're probably not going to open it. If they think that 40% is a good discount and you got 20%, they're probably not going to open it. If it's a sweater and they're looking for a t-shirt, they're probably not going to open it. You've given them a whole lot of opportunities to automatically delete your email and not read it. Do not put in the subject line what the email is about. You may put something silly on there like, I can't believe this just happened, I wanted to show it to you. And that could be about your sale, and they're going to say, well, what is that thing that just happened? They're more likely to open your email than if you tell them what is in the email. When I changed that and I quit doing that and I put subject lines that didn't tell them what was in the email, I got better open rates. So that's just a tip to you to do the same thing and you'll get better open rates too. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please put your comments below. If you have any questions about making money online, email marketing, any of that stuff online, put your comments below, put your questions. If you figured out something that works, put that in the comments too. We want to hear about it because you can help some other people. Don't forget to subscribe. There's a big subscribe button there, and when you click it, the bell will pop up. You got to ring the bell. You got to turn on all notifications so that you're part of the Fisher family, the VIP group that gets notified every single time I do one of these videos. Also, don't forget there's a $97 course below. You can get it absolutely free. All you need to do is click and learn. No credit card required. I really appreciate you watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey, thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click that little bell right there so you can be notified every time I do a new video. Also, click on one of those videos there. Keep watching on my channel.